The Friendly Ghost School stood quietly at the edge of Moonlight Hill, a place where the fog sparkled softly at night and the stars seemed closer than anywhere else. From the outside, the school looked old and spooky, with tall towers, glowing windows, and a bell that rang by itself. But inside, it was the happiest school anyone could imagine.
Did you finish the
This
lesson
was not
on
a school
shadow
for
weaving?
scary ghosts.
Almost.
It was a school for
I still
kind,
need to
playful,
practice the
and friendly
tendrils.
ghosts who wanted to learn how to help humans instead of frightening them. Every morning, the ghost students floated into their classrooms, laughing and passing through walls like it was the most normal thing in the world. Their backpacks hovered beside them, filled with glowing books and magical pencils that wrote on their own. The teachers were gentle spirits who believed that being kind was the greatest power a ghost could have. In one classroom, students learned how to make soft glowing lights instead of dark shadows. In another, they practiced whispering kind dreams into sleeping children's ears so nightmares would disappear. Among all the students was a small ghost named Lumo. Lumo was bright blue, slightly transparent, and always smiling, but he had one problem: he could not scare anyone at all. Whenever he tried to say boo, it came out like a funny squeak. Other ghosts could at least make a curtain move or a door creak, but Lumo only made bubbles of light float around him.
One quiet
Sometimes he
evening,
worried that
a
he did
group
not
of
belong in a
tiny
ghost school
ghosts
at all.
appeared at the gates,
One evening during
their
practice
lights
hour,
flickering
the students were
uncertainly.
asked to demonstrate what they had learned. Some ghosts made gentle wind breezes, others created glowing shapes in the air. When it was Lumo's turn, he closed his eyes and tried his best. Instead of
Mira
anything
floated
spooky happening,
forward
the room
first,
filled with warm light,
her golden
and everyone
glow
suddenly felt
reaching
calm and
out to
happy.
comfort them.
Even the strictest teacher smiled
You
without
are
realizing
safe
it. The
here.
classroom grew silent, not from fear, but from peace. Before anyone could say anything, the school bell rang wildly. Something was wrong. Outside the school, the nearby human town had fallen into darkness. A power failure had shut off all lights, and the children in the town were afraid. Crying could be heard floating up the hill. The teachers looked at each other, worried. This was exactly the moment they trained for,
Shadows
but helping
are our
humans
friend.
directly was never easy. The headmistress,
They offer
an ancient silver
protection
ghost with
and
kind
balance
eyes,
to the
asked for
light.
volunteers. Many students felt nervous, but Lumo floated forward slowly. His glow brightened as he said he wanted to help. Though unsure, the teachers agreed and followed him down the hill. When they reached the town, the streets were dark and silent. Children were hiding under blankets, afraid of shadows dancing on their walls.
Over
Lumo
time,
gently
the
floated through
Friendly
an
Ghost
open
School
window
became
into
a
a child's
place
bedroom.
where light
Instead of
and
saying
shadow
boo,
lived
he softly
together.
glowed like a
Every
night lamp.
spirit,
The
no matter
shadows
how
faded.
small,
The child stopped
learned
crying
that
and
even
smiled,
the faintest
thinking it was a
glow
beautiful
could make a
dream.
difference.
One by one, other ghosts followed,
One quiet
copying
evening,
Lumo's gentle light.
a mysterious
Soon the
ripple
entire
of
town
starlight
shimmered with peaceful
appeared
glows.
above
Fear
Moonlight
disappeared.
Hill.
Laughter
From it came a
returned.
new group
When
of
the power
spirits,
finally came back,
some
the
curious,
ghosts quietly
some
floated
timid,
away,
and some
unseen but
afraid
remembered
of their
in warm
own
feelings.
shadows.
Back at school, everyone cheered for Lumo. The headmistress proudly announced that the purpose of the Friendly Ghost School was never to scare, but to care. Lumo realized then that he was not weak at all. His kindness was his greatest magic. From that night on, the school felt brighter than ever. New lessons were created about
heart
hope,
has a
courage,
spark.
and helping others. And every time
And
the moon
every
rose over
spark
Moonlight Hill,
has
a
the
small blue
power
glow
to
could be seen
grow.
floating happily through the halls, reminding everyone that sometimes the gentlest spirit can be the strongest of all. After the night when Lumo helped the human town, life at the Friendly Ghost School changed in wonderful ways. The students were no longer trying to become spooky or scary. Instead, they practiced being helpful, brave, and gentle. The hallways glowed brighter, and even the old clocks ticked more happily. Lumo became quietly famous, though he never liked attention. He still floated shyly through the corridors, greeting everyone with his soft blue smile. One evening, during a calm class session, the sky outside suddenly turned dark purple. The stars vanished, and a cold wind rushed through the school. The walls trembled slightly, something that had never happened before. The teachers gathered quickly, whispering in worried voices. Far beyond Moonlight Hill, in the Shadow Zone, a lonely spirit named Morvac had awakened. Morvac was not evil by nature, but he had lived alone for centuries, forgotten and hurt. His sadness had grown so heavy that it began turning into dark energy. As Morvac's emotions spread, friendly ghosts everywhere started feeling tired and afraid. Some students couldn't glow properly. Others began flickering like weak candles. The school lights dimmed, and laughter slowly faded. The headmistress explained that darkness born from loneliness was far more dangerous than anger. It could swallow hope if left alone for too long. A journey had to be made to the Shadow Zone, but it was a place no student had ever entered. Still, Lumo felt something deep inside pulling him forward. He remembered how scared the human children had been, and how light had helped them. He believed the same could work again. With trembling courage, he volunteered to go. The teachers chose a small group to go with him. As they floated beyond the hill, the air grew colder and heavier. Colors disappeared until everything looked gray. In the distance, Morvac sat alone, surrounded by swirling shadows. His shape was large and broken, and his eyes glowed with pain rather than anger. When the group approached, the shadows rose like waves, trying to push them away. Some ghosts froze in fear, but Lumo floated ahead slowly. He did not shout or cast magic. He simply glowed, softly at first, then brighter as he remembered every moment of kindness he had ever felt. The light did not burn the shadows. Instead, it warmed them. Morvac looked up in surprise. No one had come close to him in hundreds of years. Lumo spoke gently, telling him that being forgotten did not mean being unwanted. He said even ghosts needed friends, schools, laughter, and second chances. Morvac's dark form began to shake. The shadows cracked like broken glass and slowly faded. His size shrank, and his eyes softened. For the first time in centuries, he cried, not tears, but glowing drops of light that fell and disappeared peacefully into the ground. When the group returned to the school, the sky cleared instantly. Stars returned brighter than before. The students cheered as Morvac floated behind them, no longer frightening, but small and quiet. He was welcomed as a new student. From that day forward, the Friendly Ghost School added a new lesson. No spirit should ever be left alone. Every ghost, no matter how dark their past, deserved light. And Lumo learned something important too. Kindness doesn't just chase away fear, it heals it. Late at night, when the school slept, two soft lights could often be seen floating near the windows. One was blue, and the other slowly learning to glow. After Morvac joined the Friendly Ghost School, something beautiful began to happen. The school felt warmer than ever before. Even the coldest hallways now shimmered with soft colors, and laughter echoed through the towers again. Morvac was quiet and shy, often hiding behind doors, afraid that others would still see him as darkness. But Lumo stayed beside him every day, showing him how to glow little by little. Morvac tried very hard in class. When he concentrated, a tiny silver light would appear in his chest, though it often flickered and disappeared. Sometimes he felt sad again, worried that the darkness inside him would return. On those days, Lumo would remind him that light does not appear all at once, it grows slowly, just like friendship. One night, during dream whisper practice, something strange happened. Several human children in the town began having the same dream. In the dream, a broken clock tower was crying, and its shadow was spreading across the city. The teachers realized this was no ordinary dream. The ancient clock tower once protected the balance between fear and hope. If its heart stopped completely, both humans and ghosts would suffer. The next evening, the school bell rang by itself 3 times, a signal only used for great danger. The headmistress explained that the clock tower's core was cracking, and only ghosts who understood both light and darkness could reach it safely. Everyone turned slowly toward Morvac. Fear crossed his face. He was terrified that his darkness might make things worse. Before anyone could speak, Lumo floated forward again. He said Morvac was not darkness anymore. He was proof that darkness could change. Together, they were chosen to go. The path to the clock tower was long and twisting. As they traveled, illusions appeared, memories of fear, loneliness, and regret. Lumo saw moments when he had felt useless. Morvac saw centuries of being forgotten. The illusions tried to pull them apart, whispering that they would fail. Lumo's glow weakened, but he held on. He reminded himself that bravery was not the absence of fear, but moving forward anyway. Morvac felt his chest shaking again, but this time he did not run. He focused on Lumo's light and felt something new, hope created from trust. When they reached the tower, they found the core shattered into pieces floating in the air. Dark mist leaped from the cracks. Together, they understood what must be done. Lumo shared his gentle light, while Morvac used his remaining darkness, not to destroy, but to hold the broken pieces together. Light healed. Darkness protected. Balance returned. The tower rang once, clear and peaceful. The dreams ended. The shadows retreated. The city slept safely again. When they returned, the school welcomed them as heroes, but more importantly, as symbols of balance. Morvac's light now glowed steadily, mixed with silver and blue. He was no longer afraid of who he had been. From that night on, the Friendly Ghost School taught one final truth. Light alone cannot exist without darkness, and darkness does not have to be evil. When guided by kindness, even the deepest shadow can become a place where hope begins. And every night, as children slept peacefully below Moonlight Hill, two gentle glows floated across the sky, reminding the world that friendship can fix even what time itself has broken. After the clock tower was healed, peace returned once again. But deep beneath Moonlight Hill something old began to stir. A forgotten spirit named Noctera, born from fear that humans once felt long ago, had been sleeping for centuries. She was not created by anger, but by panic, screams, and running footsteps. Every time someone was afraid of the dark, her power slowly grew. Noctera watched the Friendly Ghost School from the shadows. She did not understand kindness. To her, fear was the only truth. When she saw ghosts helping humans instead of scaring them, she felt herself fading, and that terrified her. If fear disappeared, she believed she would disappear too. One night, the moon vanished behind thick black clouds. The school lights flickered wildly. Doors slammed. Windows froze with dark frost. Students huddled together in fear. For the first time, real terror filled the school halls. Noctera rose into the sky like living light. Her voice echoed without words, filling hearts with doubt. Ghosts began forgetting how to glow. Some started turning invisible. Panic spread quickly. The teachers tried their strongest magic, but fear fed Noctera's power. The more frightened everyone became, the stronger she grew. Lumo felt his light shrinking, but he refused to hide. He floated into the open courtyard and called out, not with anger, but with honesty. He said fear should not be erased, it should be understood. Morvac joined him, trembling but brave. He admitted that he once believed darkness meant being unwanted, but friendship had changed him. Noctera hesitated. No one had ever spoken to her before. Humans ran from her. Ghosts sealed her away. She believed fear was her only purpose. Lumo floated closer even as the shadows tried to pull him back. He told her that fear could protect, warn, and teach, but it should never rule hearts. Without kindness, fear becomes loneliness. For the first time, Noctera felt something new. Not pain, not anger, but choice. Her form shook violently. The storm darkened. Everything seemed ready to collapse. Then Morvac stepped forward and shared his mixed light, proof that change was possible. Lumo added his warm glow, and together they created a circle of calm in the middle of the storm. Noctera's shadows softened. Her terrifying shape slowly changed into a tall, quiet spirit with star-like eyes. She did not vanish. She transformed. The clouds broke apart. The moon returned. The school lights glowed brighter than ever before. Noctera chose to stay, not as fear itself, but as its guardian. She would teach when darkness was necessary and when it must step aside. A new class was created at the Friendly Ghost School, where students learned courage, not the absence of fear, but the strength to face it. That night, the school celebrated under floating lanterns of light and shadow together. Lumo realized something important. The world did not need fearless spirits. It needed kind ones. And as Moonlight Hill shimmered under the stars, the Friendly Ghost School stood taller than ever, not as a place of haunting, but as a place where hearts, even ghostly ones, learned how to be brave. After Noctera chose to become the guardian of fear, the Friendly Ghost School entered its most peaceful time ever. The halls glowed gently day and night, and the air felt calm, as if the school itself was breathing happily. Students floated freely, laughing louder than before, no longer afraid of darkness or mistakes. Even the shadows on the walls now moved softly, like quiet friends. Time passed, and the oldest students prepared for graduation. This was a very special event, celebrated only once every 100 moon cycles. The courtyard filled with floating lights, sparkling banners, and glowing stars shaped like little smiles. Human children below slept peacefully, unaware that gentle spirits were protecting their dreams every night. Lumo had grown brighter, not because his light was stronger, but because his heart was. He no longer doubted himself. Morvac now glowed with a beautiful mix of silver and blue, proud but humble. Noctera stood calmly near the towers, watching over everything with peaceful eyes, no longer feared, only respected. During the graduation ceremony, the headmistress spoke softly but clearly. She said the greatest lesson the school had ever learned was that kindness can change destiny, friendship can heal darkness, and even fear can become a guide instead of a monster. As each student floated forward to receive their glowing star badge, the school bell rang gently, not loud or frightening, but joyful. When Lumo's turn came, the bell rang longer than usual. The sky shimmered. The teachers smiled. Lumo was given a rare gift, the light of guidance, meant only for spirits who inspire others simply by being themselves. He felt warm, not proud, but grateful. That night, something magical happened. Lumo realized his time as a student was ending. He was not sad. He felt ready. With a soft farewell, he floated beyond Moonlight Hill and became a wandering guardian, traveling quietly between towns, lighting dark bedrooms, calming scared hearts, and reminding children that they were never alone. Back at the school, Morvac began teaching younger ghosts how to understand their feelings instead of hiding them. Noctera watched the night skies, ensuring fear never grew too strong again. The Friendly Ghost School continued, not just as a place of learning, but as a symbol of hope. Sometimes, when the moon is full and the world grows quiet, a small blue glow can be seen drifting across the sky. Children who see it feel safe without knowing why. And somewhere on Moonlight Hill, the school bell rings softly, proud of the ghost who once couldn't say boo, but learned how to change the world with light. Even though Lumo had left Moonlight Hill, his light never truly went away. The Friendly Ghost School could still feel him, like a warm memory floating in the air. Nights remained peaceful, but something new was beginning far beyond the hills, in places where even gentle spirits rarely traveled. In a distant town by the silent sea, children started waking up feeling lonely for no clear reason. They were not scared, and there were no nightmares, yet their hearts felt heavy. Dreams became quiet and colorless. The stars above that town faded little by little, as if forgetting how to shine. From his journey across the world, Lumo sensed it. His glow flickered, guiding him toward the sea. When he arrived, he found a spirit named Erilyn, formed from forgotten wishes. Long ago, children had whispered dreams to the night, hoping to become brave, happy, or loved. But as time passed and hope was forgotten, those wishes had gathered into a lonely ghost who did not know her purpose. Erilyn did not want to harm anyone. She simply absorbed dreams because she believed they were abandoned. Each dream she collected made the world quieter and emptier. When Lumo approached her, she hid within mist, afraid he had come to stop her. Instead, Lumo listened. He told her that wishes never disappear, they wait. Children grow, but hope stays inside them. Slowly, Erilyn released the dreams she had gathered. Colors returned to the sky. Stars relit themselves one by one, like tiny lanterns welcoming her back to the world. Erilyn chose not to fade. She chose to learn. Far away, the Friendly Ghost School felt the change and opened its gates once more. Guided by moonlight, Erilyn arrived at Moonlight Hill, nervous but curious. Morvac welcomed her gently. Noctera nodded with calm approval. A new student had arrived, not born from fear this time, but from forgotten hope. The school changed again, growing wiser. New lessons were added about patience, listening, and understanding quiet sadness, the kind that does not cry but still hurts. And Lumo continued his journey, no longer just a student or a hero, but a gentle guide of lost feelings. Wherever hearts felt empty, a small blue glow appeared. The Friendly Ghost School understood now that darkness does not always scream. Sometimes it whispers. And every whisper deserves to be heard. On quiet nights, when the world seems still, kindness moves unseen. It floats softly, glowing just enough to remind everyone that hope never truly disappears. It only waits for someone kind enough to find it. Years passed gently over Moonlight Hill. The Friendly Ghost School still stood tall, glowing softly against the night sky.
Look, the
But
indigo
now it
light
felt
is pointing
different in a
toward the main
wonderful
hall.
way. It was no longer just a school, it was a home for every spirit who had ever felt lost, forgotten, or unsure of their purpose. New ghost children arrived from many places. Some were born from laughter, some from tears, some from courage, and some from quiet hopes. Each one carried a different light. The teachers taught them patiently, reminding them that no glow was too small and no shadow too dark to learn kindness. Morvac had grown into a calm and wise teacher. He helped students who struggled with heavy feelings, showing them that darkness was not something to erase, but something to understand. Noctira continued watching the night skies, protecting balance, teaching courage with gentle strength rather than fear. And then, one evening, something magical happened. A group of young ghost students noticed a soft blue glow floating far above the clouds. It moved slowly, kindly, like it was watching over the world. The students whispered excitedly. They had heard stories, legends of a small ghost who once studied at the school and changed everything without ever trying to be brave. The headmistress smiled knowingly. That night, during the school's annual starlight gathering, the air shimmered. The glow drifted closer, warmer than moonlight. Lumo returned, not as a student, not as a hero, but as a guide who had traveled the world and learned the hearts of many. He did not stay long. He never needed to. Lumo spoke gently to the students, telling them that every spirit would someday leave the school, not to disappear, but to spread kindness where it was needed most. He said the world would always have fear, sadness, and darkness, but it would also always have light if someone chose to share it. Before dawn, he floated back into the sky, his glow blending with the stars. From that day on, whenever a student graduated, they looked toward the heavens and felt ready. They knew they were not alone. The Friendly Ghost School would always exist, not only on Moonlight Hill, but in every act of kindness, every brave heart, and every gentle choice. And so the story never truly ended. Because as long as someone feels afraid in the dark, somewhere soft light will appear. And as long as that light shines, the Friendly Ghost School lives on. After Lumo faded back into the stars, the Friendly Ghost School continued its nights quietly, but something beautiful had changed forever. The students now believed deeply in themselves. They did not wait to be told they were special. They felt it. One evening, a very small ghost arrived at the gates. She was so tiny that her glow could barely be seen. Her name was Myra. She trembled as she floated inside, afraid she would disappear if she became too emotional. She believed her light was broken. Myra tried hard in class, but whenever she felt nervous, her glow dimmed completely. Other students did not laugh, but Myra still felt invisible. She often hid near the window, staring at the sky, wondering if she belonged anywhere at all. One night, during quiet hour, the sky suddenly darkened, not with fear, but with silence. The stars froze. Even Noctira felt confused. Something was stealing confidence, not dreams, not fear, but belief. The teachers discovered the cause, an ancient wind called the drift. It passed through worlds slowly, whispering doubt. It did not attack. It simply made people forget their worth. As the drift touched the school, students began doubting themselves. Lights flickered. Some ghosts stopped glowing entirely. Myra felt it strongest. Instead of hiding, she remembered the stories of Lumo. She remembered that even the smallest glow mattered. With shaking courage, she floated into the center hall and allowed herself to feel everything. Fear, hope, sadness, and love, without pushing it away. Her light did not grow bright. It grew steady. A soft, constant glow filled the room. It did not blind or sparkle, but it stayed.
I'm just glad that
The drift
presentation's
slowed.
over.
Doubt weakened.
Seriously, I
The
thought I was
wind
gonna mess
passed
up the
harmlessly
intro.
through the walls and vanished
You did
into the
great.
night. The school returned to peace. Morvac smiled proudly. Noctira bowed her head. The teachers realized something important. True strength was not loud or powerful. It was believing in yourself even when you felt small. From that night on, Myra became a quiet inspiration.
From her balcony.
She did not shine the brightest, but she never faded. New students learned that glowing softly was just as important as glowing strong. And high above, among the stars, a gentle blue light shimmered warmly, watching with pride. The Friendly Ghost School learned its final lesson. You do not need to shine like others. You only need to shine as yourself. Years went by at the Friendly Ghost School, and the halls were never quiet. New ghosts arrived every season, carrying different colors of light and unique hearts. Some glowed brightly, some softly, and some barely glimmered at all. But every single one belonged. The school became a place where spirits learned more than magic or tricks. They learned patience, courage, kindness, and the importance of believing in themselves. Even the smallest ghosts discovered they could make a difference. The students who once doubted themselves now helped the newcomers find their glow. Myra, with her soft, steady light, became a symbol for everyone who ever felt invisible. She showed that gentle hearts could guide even the darkest nights. Lumo, far above the clouds, continued to watch over the world. He appeared in tiny flashes of blue during moments when a child felt scared or a ghost felt unsure. He never needed to speak. His presence alone reminded everyone that light can exist in the quietest hearts. Noctera now taught the most advanced lessons in courage, explaining that fear itself was not the enemy, but a teacher if understood. Morvac guided students through shadows, showing them that darkness could be comforting when balanced with light. Together, they shaped generations of ghosts who could care, protect, and inspire. One quiet night, as the stars sparkled like never before, the headmistress gathered all the students in the main courtyard. She smiled warmly and said, "Every spirit here is proof that even the smallest light can change the world. Remember, you do not need to be the brightest or the loudest. You only need to shine as yourself." The ghosts cheered softly, their glows blending into a sea of sparkling colors. The moonlight shimmered over Moonlight Hill, and for the first time, the entire school seemed to float in a gentle, magical glow, a glow created by hope, kindness, and the courage to simply be. And so, the Friendly Ghost School continued, not just as a building on Moonlight Hill, but as a promise. A promise that no matter how small, how shy, or how uncertain someone may feel, there is always a place where they can belong, where they can learn, and where their light, no matter its size, can shine. The story of Lumo, Morvac, Noctera, Myra, and all the students became a quiet legend whispered in the wind, floating softly into the hearts of children everywhere. And as long as the stars shined above and the moon cast its silver glow, the Friendly Ghost School would never truly end. Because light, kindness, and courage are never lost. They only wait for someone to shine them into the world. Time moved gently over Moonlight Hill, and the Friendly Ghost School became more than just a school. It became a beacon for all lost or wandering spirits. Ghosts from faraway places began to arrive, some born from forgotten laughter, some from quiet wishes, and even a few from tiny sparks of fear that needed guidance. The oldest students, now teachers themselves, guided the new arrivals. Morvac taught lessons on balance, explaining that darkness is not evil if it protects and guides. Noctera taught courage and wisdom, showing students how to face their fears without letting them control their hearts. Myra, with her gentle, steady glow, taught patience, kindness, and the quiet power of believing in oneself. One evening, as the moon rose high and the stars shone like diamonds, something extraordinary happened. A ripple of light appeared across the sky, like a river of glowing sparks moving toward Moonlight Hill. The students watched in awe as tiny spirits, who had never known friendship or hope, arrived. They were timid, almost invisible, and their light flickered weakly. Lumo appeared from the sky, floating gently among them. He did not speak. He simply glowed brighter, welcoming them without fear or judgment. The new ghosts felt warmth for the first time. Slowly, their flickering light steadied and grew, blending with the glow of the school. The headmistress stood quietly, tears of pride glimmering in her transparent eyes. "This," she said softly, "is why we exist. To help every spirit find its place, to help every light shine, no matter how small. One by one, we build a world where hope and kindness are stronger than fear and doubt." From
Over
that night
time,
on, the Friendly Ghost School became a
place
sanctuary,
where
not
light
just for
and
ghosts,
shadow
but for
lived
anyone who
together.
needed courage, light, or friendship. Spirits who had once felt lost, alone, or afraid now discovered they had a home, a purpose, and a family. And high above, among the stars, a gentle blue light continued to watch over everything. It was Lumo. Not as a student, not as a hero, but as a quiet guardian of hope. Every night, wherever darkness threatened to swallow a heart, his soft glow would appear, reminding the world that even the smallest light can guide the way. The school's lessons echoed beyond Moonlight Hill, reaching every heart willing to believe in kindness, courage, and friendship. And somewhere in the world, when a child felt afraid or a spirit felt lost, a small, gentle glow would appear, soft, steady, and full of hope. Because the Friendly Ghost School had learned the most important truth of all. No matter where you come from, no matter how faint your light may seem, you always have the power to shine, and to help others shine too. Years turned into decades, and the Friendly Ghost School grew more magical with every passing season. The school itself seemed alive, its towers sparkling with soft lights, and the trees surrounding Moonlight Hill swaying gently even when there was no wind. Ghosts of all ages now walked, or floated, through its halls, each carrying their own color of light, each sharing stories of courage, kindness, and hope. A new generation of students arrived, braver and wiser than ever. Some had barely flickering lights, others shone like stars, but every single one found a place at the school. They learned not only spells and magic, but lessons about friendship, courage, and understanding that every heart, even ghostly ones, can feel lonely sometimes. One quiet night, the oldest spirits gathered in the courtyard for a special ceremony. The sky above shimmered with thousands of glowing stars, and somewhere in the distance, Lumo's familiar blue light floated across the clouds, guiding new arrivals safely toward the school. The headmistress spoke softly to all the students. You are the keepers of hope now. Every act of kindness, every brave choice, every gentle glow you share matters. You are never too small to make a difference. Myra, now a mentor for new students, smiled at the youngest ghosts who hovered nervously at the gates. She told them about her own journey, how she once felt invisible, but learned that even the quietest light can change the world. Morvac showed them that darkness is not always to be feared, and Naftira taught that courage is strongest when combined with care. Suddenly, a ripple of shimmering light passed through the courtyard, and the students looked up. Erilyn, the spirit born from forgotten wishes, appeared with dozens of tiny glowing companions, wishes that had finally found their way into hearts. They twirled and floated around the school, lighting up every corner with hope and joy. Lumo appeared beside them, smiling softly. Though he had traveled far and wide, he returned often to remind everyone of what mattered most. Kindness, understanding, and courage, no matter how small or faint your light might seem. The headmistress concluded the ceremony. The Friendly Ghost School is not just a place of learning. It is a home, a family, a promise that every spirit, no matter how shy or afraid, has a place where they belong.
One quiet evening,
from that day forward, Moonlight Hill glowed brighter than ever. Ghosts and children alike felt the warmth of its magic. The Friendly Ghost School became a legend whispered in every town, a story of hope, bravery, and the gentle power of being yourself. And high above, the soft blue glow of Lumo floated in the night sky, joined by countless other lights. Proof that even the smallest spark can guide the way, and that kindness and courage will always shine brighter than fear. The story of the Friendly Ghost School was no longer just about ghosts learning magic. It was about every heart, every light, and every choice to shine, no matter how dark the world seemed. Time at the Friendly Ghost School seemed endless, yet every year brought something new. Ghosts of all ages arrived, each carrying their own light, fears, hopes, and dreams. The school had grown into a living constellation of glows, laughter, and quiet magic. Even the trees, the walls, and the towers seemed to hum with energy, as if the very stones remembered every story, every student, and every kind act that had ever taken place. One morning, the students woke to a strange sight. A faint rainbow of light stretched across the sky, leading from Moonlight Hill into the faraway lands where no ghost had ever been. It shimmered softly, beckoning them to explore. The headmistress explained that the school's magic had reached beyond its walls and that new spirits in distant worlds were waiting for guidance, hope, and friendship. Excited whispers ran through the corridors. Myra floated to the front of the line of young students and smiled. "Every light has a path," she said. "Sometimes you must travel far to find others like you. But wherever you go, your glow will leave a mark." Morvac added, "Remember, darkness is not the enemy. It is only a shadow. Your light can guide it, balance it, and even transform it." That evening, the students gathered in the courtyard. Lumo appeared, as soft and blue as ever, alongside Erilyn and dozens of tiny spirits he had guided over the years. "Tonight," he said, "you will all see that your light is stronger than you think. Every flicker, every glow, every act of kindness can reach further than you imagine." The students followed the rainbow of light. As they floated along, they saw spirits who had never known a friend. Some were trembling, some were faintly glowing, and some were lost in clouds of doubt. But when the students shared their light, even the smallest flickers became steady and strong. Laughter returned. Warmth returned. Hope returned. By the time they returned to Moonlight Hill, the school shone brighter than ever. The headmistress smiled, her eyes glimmering with pride. "You have learned the most important lesson," she said. "Light grows when it is shared. Courage grows when it is given. And hope grows when kindness reaches even the quietest heart." And so, the Friendly Ghost School continued its legacy, guiding generations of spirits. New students came, old students became teachers, and even distant lands felt the warmth of Moonlight Hill. Lumo, Myra, Morvac, Noctira, and Erilyn remained as guardians, not of magic alone, but of hope, friendship, and the knowledge that every heart, no matter how small, can shine. And every night, when the stars sparkled above, a gentle blue glow could be seen drifting across the sky. It reminded all who saw it that, with each passing year, the Friendly Ghost School became more than a school, it became a living legend. Its towers glowed in harmony with the stars, and the surrounding forest seemed to hum with quiet magic. Ghosts of all ages, sizes, and colors floated along the halls, each discovering that their light, no matter how small, had a purpose. One calm night, a mysterious mist rolled in from the far valleys. Within it, new spirits appeared, tiny, fragile, and hesitant. They had never seen kindness, never felt friendship, and their light flickered weakly. The students of the school gathered at the gates, unsure what to do. Myra, now a wise teacher, floated forward and whispered, "Every light matters. Every heart can learn to shine." Lumo appeared from the sky, his soft blue glow guiding the hesitant spirits toward the school. Erilyn followed, carrying dreams that had been forgotten long ago. "Do not be afraid," Lumo said silently. His light spoke without words, wrapping around every trembling spirit and helping their flickers grow steady. Inside the school, Morvac and Noctira welcomed the newcomers, showing them that darkness was not something to fear, it could be understood, balanced, and even transformed. Slowly, the tiny spirits began to glow, their lights joining the chorus of laughter and joy that filled the towers. The headmistress watched quietly from her balcony, smiling. "This is why we exist," she said softly. "To guide every spirit, to nurture every light, and to remind every heart that courage, kindness, and hope are stronger than fear or doubt." That night, the stars above Moonlight Hill seemed brighter than ever. Students floated on the rooftops, glows intertwining, casting warm patterns across the courtyard. Lumo drifted among them, a gentle guardian watching over the legacy he had helped create. The Friendly Ghost School had become more than a home for ghosts. It was a place where courage grew, hope thrived, and kindness spread like light across the world. And every heart that had ever felt lost now knew that there was a place where they belonged, where their glow could matter, and where their courage could grow. And far above the towers, Lumo's soft blue glow drifted across the night sky, reminding all who saw it that no light is ever too small, no heart too quiet, and no shadow too dark to find hope and shine.